Real Madrid have played 3 games this season and we picked up 9 points. 3 games, 3 wins. And I felt like it's a perfect time for me to make this video. And it's international break, so it makes perfect sense to do it. And this is, for me, the biggest takeaways so far for Real Madrid. What I've learned from Real Madrid this season. What I've observed from Real Madrid this season. What I've noticed from Real Madrid this season. And put down in the comments what you have made. Of course, all the Madrid fans, put down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. And most importantly, more than anything else, because I know some of you guys watch and not subscribe, which kind of annoys me because that means you don't show the love to the channel. And bro, 10k away from 100k, make my dream come true. You know what I mean? Come on, man, subscribe to the channel. But most importantly as well, comment your own thoughts. Madrid fans, let me know what you guys have made of this Real Madrid team. And this is, for me, 5 things I've learned from Madrid this season. And number one, I think is everyone's number one, and that is the defensive structure. I mean, that is the biggest change of Real Madrid so far this season. We saw what happened last season with Carlo Ancelotti. We were arguably the worst defensive side across the whole of Europe in terms of defensive numbers, in terms of defensive transition, in terms of defensive press, in terms of just overall normal stats, in terms of interception, blocks, X, Y, and Z. And so far this season, that's been the biggest change. Now I'm seeing a shape. Now I'm seeing a structure, which last season was the case. Because last season it was very easy to play against Real Madrid. Because Real Madrid last season, you saw the massive gap between the midfield and the defense. And every time a team came into the final third, we barely pressed them. We allowed them. We invited them. We're like, come, it's a buffet thing. Come, bro. All of you guys come. And they attacked with so much ease. This time around, I'm seeing shape. I'm seeing a defensive structure. I'm seeing a press. I'm seeing actually an understanding and a unity between the midfield and the defense. And I think everyone understands. The defenders understand. The midfield understands that we can't allow spaces for teams to exploit, or the pockets around or between the midfield and defense, or between the midfielders. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing the only game which I felt like they could have attacked us or they could have done something was the game against Oviedo towards the second half. But listen, 3 wins, 2 clean sheets. That's more clean sheets than last season, including chances coming against Real Madrid. It's way less compared to last season. In terms of also teams attacking us in transition, it's way less than last season. In terms of our press, our midfield pressing the opponents before they come into our half, it's way less than it's way higher than last season. So our defensive numbers is the biggest change, and that is, for me, the number one takeaway of Real Madrid season. We can talk about going forward, and that is, of course, it takes time, but defensively, that's the biggest improvement that this team has made, which is the biggest. That had to be done early on, because you can't fix top without fixing the bottom. Like, you have to start from scratch, and defenders is from scratch. So we take it step by step. And most importantly, so far we've done that, and 3 games in, it's worked out perfectly. Number 2 is the hierarchy, and that is what I've noticed. I don't agree with it. Let me tell you why I don't agree with it. And before you guys, some of you guys might say, yo, what do you mean by the hierarchy? Xabi Alonso so far, from what I've noticed so far 3 games in, and his press conference, because I listen to every single of his press conferences, and I take notes. I want to see what he says. He has made it very clear that's a strict positional hierarchy. What I mean by that is, let's start with defenders. The defenders, no surprise. Daniel Carvajal, Trent. On the left-hand side is Alvaro Carreras, and of course, Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy if he comes back. The defenders, I feel like there's only one main guaranteed starter, and that's Dean Huijsen. Other than that, the other position is between 2 players, between Militao and Rudiger. I feel like Militao is now preferred over Rudiger, which is a pretty good thing. And then Raul, I think, is the 3rd pecking order between the 3. The midfield is where the question mark is now. At the moment, Alonso started Arda Güler, Fede, and Tchouameni in all 3 games. Camavinga's coming back. Camavinga is going to be competing with Tchouameni at the 6th position. I don't think he's going to see him as an 8. I feel like Camavinga, Xabi Alonso is going to see him, similar to what I'm going to get to going forward, is going to be a rotation with a Tchouameni. Right-hand side, Fede is pretty much, it's his position. Arda Güler's on the left-hand side, and Ceballos comes off the bench to an Arda Güler. The right-hand side is Franco and Brahim. Up front is Mbappe and Gonzalo Garcia. On the left-hand side is Vini and Rodrigo. So far this season, we're not going to see a habit of last season where players are going to be playing in different positions. So Rodrigo might play on the right, Arda Güler might play on the right, Fede might play as a 6, Camavinga plays a left back. And Mbappe play on my left, we're not going to see that. Xabi Alonso has made it very clear that I'm going to play everyone to their skill set, to their position, and to the what I know they're going to deliver. He is not going to misprofile anyone so far this season. That's why I don't think we're going to see a lot of times we're going to see Rodrigo on the right. I don't think we are, but this is where my disagreement come in place. I think we need to, because Franco has played, Brahim has played. I haven't made this a segment. I haven't made a slide about Franco, but let me talk about in this segment because it makes sense. I think we're rushing Franco way too quick. I think we're forcing him to play. I think it's too early for him. Let the kid adapt to the league. Let the kid adapt to Real Madrid. The guy just came from Argentina. He's 18 years old. He hasn't played European football, and we're making him into a player that he is not really. I mean, the first 2 games, you're seeing it. A lot of Madrid fans said, oh, he played amazing. He didn't really play amazing. Like, let's chill. Let's chill down on the hype. He hasn't played great, but he played okay. He played okay for a young kid, a raw kid. I think off the ball movement is amazing. I think what he does defensively, presses, but I think on the ball, you can see the rawness in him. You can see he loses the ball a couple of times. He tries. He's too left foot heavy. Brahim Diaz is very different, and I feel like Brahim Diaz should be starting over Franco because Franco, bro, you can't push him into the starting 11 and expect him to deliver straight away. It doesn't work like that. We need to gradually get him into a La Liga player, into starting 11 player. At the moment, I still think like he's more of an Argentinian Premier Division player. So at the moment, why not play Rodrigo on the right? Yes, I know Rodrigo, that's not his preferred position, but at the same time, let's not kid ourselves. This Donny played on the right-hand side for the past 6 years, so he knows how to play on the right-hand side. So why not have the better player play on the right? I would rather have Rodrigo on the right than Frank on the right or Brahim on the right. That's just me. If you disagree, put that in the comments. But I feel like the hierarchy is something that I've noticed with Xabi Alonso, and I think that's going to be more towards this season. Even when Jude comes back, and even when who else is going to come back? That's pretty much it. When Jude comes back, it's going to be a hierarchy thing because I feel like he's made it very clear he's not going to misprofile anyone. The third thing is Tchouameni. And I think the midfield is something that we need to talk about. Arda Güler, that's no segment about Arda Güler. I don't have a slide about Arda Güler. I kind of predicted it. I kind of expected it. If you guys have been watching my content for the past year, I predicted from last year that I see Arda Güler not as the right winger, as a midfielder, and I think he's going to be massive to this team. And now we're seeing it firsthand. So, but that Arda Güler for me is not a surprise because I envisioned it. I expected it. Tchouameni is a surprise. Tchouameni has had a very good 2025. Not just this season, at 2025. The misconception about Tchouameni is that he's been bad last season. He wasn't bad last season. He was bad from August to December. He start becoming very good, start of the season, start of the year. 2025. But this season, he's taken to another level. This season, I'm seeing a lot more leadership in him. I'm seeing a lot of impact and influence between the midfield and the defense. He's the focal point now. He's the focal point. I see him as being a hybrid between a defender and a midfielder, but at the same time being the Toni Kroos, but also dropping deep. Like every system will be dependent on Tchouameni. If we play further back, Tchouameni will be the third centre back. If we play the 2 pivot, he's going to be the one across the 2 pivot. If we play with a lone pivot, it'll be Tchouameni. Like Tchouameni is so pivotal in this Xabi Alonso system. That's why Xabi Alonso raves about him so much, and that's why we're seeing him this season. He, in terms of defensive numbers, leads Real Madrid across all departments. Even him going forward, his passes in the final third is very high. His switches is very high. Like he's become a massive part in this team, and I feel like he deserved it. I was so disappointed last season when I saw a lot of Madrid fans say, "Get rid of him, sell him, bro." Like, what's wrong with you now? What? Where's the energy now? Stay on that side, bro. Stay on that side. But like I said, I'm very happy with what he's done, and I can see him continue doing it. And I think at one point this season, we're gonna look at Tchouameni as being a guaranteed start. At the moment, I look at only 3 or 4 guaranteed started undisputed starters, 4 or 5 undisputed starters, and I think slowly and gradually, give it 3 to 4 months, Tchouameni is going to be one of those undisputed guaranteed starters no matter what. The fourth is the immediate impact of Alvaro and Dean Huijsen. That, I'm gonna be real. Let me start with Dean Huijsen. It's big flowers and big praise when a 19-year-old comes into La Liga, comes into Real Madrid, to a massive team, and already becomes the most important defender. Not centre-back, defender. Defender. And yes, the argument can be, well, Madrid's centre-back options are very weak. You can say that. But at the same time, it's still not easy. It's still not easy. No anyone can come in and do what he's done. And last season proved to himself at Bournemouth or what he did. The Club World Cup was just an illustration. But what I've noticed about him from the Club World Cup and so far from the first 3 games of Real Madrid in this La Liga season is that he is the perfect centre back. This guy is a hybrid. I said the same about Tchouameni, but this guy is a cheat code in defense. Imagine having a hybrid centre back because what he does defensively, I spoke about him. When I spoke about the defensive structure, he is one of the most leaders in there in terms of the way he does it, the way he pushes up, in terms of the high line. Like we've played a couple of times the high line, in terms of he organizes the back line. Even at 19 years old, he's got the leadership skills. But fam, when I'm talking about on the ball, in possession, he's a cheat code. In possession, he reminds me when he carries the ball forward into the final third. Where he's a defensive midfielder as well. He's a defensive midfielder. Like a lot of people make the comparison about Sergio Ramos, and deservedly so. Like Sergio Ramos is his idol. Even he says Sergio Ramos is my idol. Is my idol. I don't look him as a Sergio Ramos. I look him as a Gerard Piqué. I feel like I've said it even in my watch along against Pachuca or Salzburg, in one of them, I said he gives me more Gerard Piqué vibes than he gives me Sergio Ramos vibes. Like he's so good on the ball. And even when he carries the ball forward, he switches his long balls. Bro, at one point, I forgot what game, he had like 12 out of 40 long balls in terms of accuracy. Like he makes the right passes and the right decisions. And now Alvaro Carreras. And this guy, biggest surprise. I watched him last season 5 times, 6 times, but 3 of those times was against Barcelona. And there was one game in specifically, he did very well against Lamine Yamal. Like he did very well against Lamine Yamal. And if you do well against Lamine Yamal, that means you're a great left back. Let's be real. Like Lamine Yamal is the most dangerous player coming against you on the left hand side, on the right hand side. It's so dangerous to stop him. So if you do well against Lamine Yamal, that means you're a great left back. And defensively, I had no issue about him. Defensively, I heard about him. I had Portuguese fans tell me how good he is defensively. Going forward is the massive shock to me. Going forward, the guy is comfortable when he gets to the final third. Again, I've been traumatized for the past couple of years with Fran Garcia, with Ferland Mendy. When they get to the final third, they panic. They lose their head, they lose their brain, and they don't know what to do with it. With Alvaro Carreras, when he gets into the final third, he makes the right plays. His decision-making is second to none. He is composed when he gets the ball, receives it, turns. He's composed when he gets to the final third, making the right passes, the crosses. He's composed, overlapping. Now, he is so comfortable when he gets to the final third, which, again, Ferland Mendy did it early on. Fran Garcia, we saw highlights of Rayo Vallecano, but never did it at Real Madrid. Marcelo was the last player that I felt comfortable going to the final third. Now, bro, Alvaro is... I don't have a problem anyone attacking the right-hand side because as a long-time defender, he is that. And going forward, he is that as well. Like, the immediate impact of both of them, my goodness gracious, bro. It's been crazy. And lastly is Vini and Mbappe. And the reason why I say focus is because I feel like the focus this season is what should have happened. I'm happy, and I hope they maintain it. Let me elaborate on that. Let me just explain that a little bit more. There was a moment, by the way, before we get to the moment, we all know about the pressure that both of them have this season. Both of them have got massive pressure this season. Start with Mbappe. Mbappe, for me, this is the most pressured footballer of all time. Like this season is like we all know why. Last season, what happened? PSG winning the treble without him. X, Y, and Z. PSG beating us a Club World Cup for no. We know about the pressure that Mbappe's got this season, and he has to deliver. Vini has got a lot of pressure as well because last season, 2025, has been absolute cheeks. And what happened since the Ballon d'Or, the 10 times better, and with the whole contract situation, that Madrid is not prepared to give him 30 million, and he's now stalling the contract negotiation. Like that's a lot of pressure on Vini to do well because if he doesn't do well, then Perez might just look around and say, you know what, Saudi, I don't mind selling you. So both of them have got a lot of pressure this season. And this is why I'm seeing a lot of great focus. With Mbappe, the focus was, bro, there was a clip that I saw. You guys let me know. Oviedo or Mallorca, where Xabi Alonso spoke to him during the game at the touchline. And out of nowhere, I saw him get back to his position. But I saw him do the Dembele where he was looking at the goalkeeper and he was about to press. But what he did is that he organized our attacking line and shouted out Aguilar, told Aguilar, yo, press up a little bit for us to have numbers and for us to win the ball as quickly as possible. Fam, I never saw that last season. I never saw that sort of encouragement last season where he was pressing and he was looking eager to do it. Now he's doing it. Bro, I think he averages, last season he was what? They ranked 35th, 36th in terms of the most presses from an attacker in La Liga. So far this season, he's been doing it very well. I have no complaint about him. And with Vini Jr., getting dropped and getting benched is a massive thing. But he took it as a lesson and he bounced back. That was a statement, by the way. What he did against Oviedo was a statement because he dropped, got benched, and he never got rotated, by the way. He never got rested. He got benched. Rodrigo came in, started over him. But what he did, he didn't get emotional. He didn't, oh my God, what am I doing? My name is Vini Jr., I'm a number 7. He didn't do that. He came off the bench, scored and assisted. Next game against Mallorca, started and dropped maybe one of his best games in the recent months. So he took it as a lesson, which means he is now, mindset-wise, both of them are at the right level. And I hope he maintains it. I hope they get to the level. I feel like chemistry-wise, they will get better. And I feel like Xabi Alonso will be the manager because if Xabi Alonso can't fix it, then no one can fix it. If Xabi can't fix it, I mean, no one. Because last season, Carlo Ancelotti is arguably the best manager when it comes to going forward or when it comes to building a chemistry without tactics, with just straight vibes. So if we can't have vibes to make them work, now we've got Xabi Alonso, who's very more tactical and system-orientated. If he can't do it, then no one can do it. We can't have the greatest manager in Carlo Ancelotti, and we can't have a tactician in Xabi Alonso. So if he can't do it, then that means Mbappe and Vini will never work out. Will never, ever work out. That means next season we have to sacrifice one of them. But so far, I've been satisfied. I haven't been happy, because happy is a big word. Happy means I'm going to sleep with a smile on my face. So far, it's happened a couple of times. So far, I'm like, okay, it's better than last season. But I don't want it to be that case. I want it to be, I go to sleep with my pillow, with my teddy bear, smile on my face. What? No, what I meant is, like, you know, the baby, googa gaga. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Nothing else, like, nothing else. Wallah, that's what I meant. By the way, you know what? Let me just stop the point now, man. But guys, I hope you guys understand my 5 takeaways. Put down in the comments what your biggest takeaways are. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I know I'm going to get a lot of Barcelona comments saying, oh, do Barca, do Barca, do Barca. If this video gets 2K, 2.5K likes, I'm going to do Barca tomorrow. So let's see if you guys want it.